I do laundry on Sundays. That's just how it's always been. Sunday morning, I grab whatever's been piling up on the chair in my bedroom. You know the chair, everyone has one. And I take it down 3 blocks to the coin Laundromat on Fenner Street. I've been going there for probably 2 years. Same machines, same flickering light above the second row of dryers. Same guy who comes in around 10 with a garbage bag full of bed sheets and never makes eye contact. The smell started maybe 6 or 7 weeks in. Not a bad smell, that's the thing. I kept looking around for something rotting, something left in the machine. And it wasn't that. It was a worm and a little dusty, with something underneath it I couldn't name. Old wood maybe, something floral that had mostly faded. I actually stood there sniffing my shirt like an idiot before I convinced myself it was just the detergent from the machine before mine. I switched machines, smell was still there. I tried a different detergent, the kind in the orange bottle. Same thing, a little fainter that week, and I mostly forgot about it. Then it came back stronger. By the 5th or 6th week, I was doing this thing where I'd bring the laundry inside, hang a shirt up near the window and just stand there trying to figure out what it reminded me of. It was bothering me in the way something bothers you when you can't place a face. There was a word for it right behind my teeth and I couldn't get it out. I called my aunt on a Tuesday, not about the smell, just catching up. She lives in Tucson and we don't talk as often as we should. Somewhere in the middle of the conversation I mentioned it, mostly because I'd been turning it over all week and it felt good to say it out loud. I described it as best as I could, dusty and worm and sort of floral. Like a room where the windows hadn't been opened in a long time, but it wasn't unpleasant. It was almost familiar. She went quiet. Not for long, maybe 4 or 5 seconds, then she asked me to describe it again, and I did, and there was another pause before she said, "That's what your grandmother's house smelled like." My grandmother died when I was 7. Her house was in a different state, and I hadn't been there since the funeral. And I haven't thought about it in years. I told my aunt she was wrong, and she said she probably was, and we changed the subject. But by the time I got off the phone, I was sitting on my kitchen floor with my back against the cabinets, and I couldn't tell you why. The thing is, I don't remember the smell. I have almost no memories of being in that house. A few images, a dark hallway, a yellow lamp, the pattern on a couch cushion. Nothing detailed, nothing I could call up on purpose. So I couldn't verify it. I had no way to say yes, that's it, that's exactly the smell. I just had my aunt going quiet on the phone and this unnamed thing following my clothes home. I started washing things twice. I bought new detergent twice more, including the fancy kind. 1 week I used the machines at a different laundromat 12 blocks away, paid $1 more per load, and thought I'd broken whatever loop I was in. The smell was back the next Sunday in the Fenner Street machines, same as always. I told myself that was just how those machines were and I'd gotten used to it. I almost believed it. For a couple of weeks, life went back to being normal. Work, groceries, the usual Tuesday call to Tucson, where neither of us mentioned it again. Then one morning I pulled a hoodie out of my closet that I hadn't worn since winter. I hadn't washed it recently, I hadn't taken it to the laundromat in months. I put it on and I was halfway to the kitchen before my body stopped moving on its own. I stood there in the hallway with my hand on the wall and I smelled it coming off my own shoulders. I didn't call anyone, I didn't know what I would say. I took the hoodie off and put it in the hamper and made coffee and went to work and did not think about it. The following Sunday I went to the laundromat the same as always. Same time, same machines. I folded everything on the counter by the window and carried it home and put it away. Somewhere around the 3rd week after that I realized I'd stopped noticing the smell entirely. I don't know when it happened, it wasn't a decision. One day it was there, making me stand in doorways, and then it wasn't bothering me anymore. And I can't find the moment in between. I've been trying to remember if I just got used to it or if it actually went away, and I genuinely cannot tell. That's what I can't get past. Not the smell, the fact that I stopped noticing it and have no idea what that means. My aunt hasn't brought it up again, neither have I. The hoodie is still in my closet.